Hello everyone, Old Soldier here. Today we are going to talk about the Siminov Semiautomic Carbine, more commonly known as the SKS. Pictured here is the Chinese variant, designated Type 56. The SKS-45 was designed in the Soviet Union. It was replaced by the AK-AKM series rifles. It is no longer a service with first-line units in Russia, but you can find these things literally all over the world. These used to be very affordable. Millions have been imported into the United States, and one could be had for about $100 with a tuna can of ammo of 1,000 rounds to be had for another $100. These are the staple rifle for starving college students on a low budget who still like to shoot, or anybody else who just does not have a lot of disposable income. This is a very simple design, easy to take care of, and easy to assemble and disassemble, yet very robust. Let's get into it. As with all firearms, I clear and make safe before I begin disassembly. I release the fixed magazine latch. I pull the bolt to the rear, and I physically and manually check the chamber to ensure the firearm is empty. Most SKSs have a folding swing-out bayonet attached to the rifle. This one was removed when it was given to me. This rifle was given to me by my brother Steve almost 30 years ago. So Steven, if you're watching, thank you. To remove the cleaning rod, simply pull down on the cleaning rod to release the head from the lugs underneath the barrel. Pull out and remove. Voila. Next, I loosen receiver cover retaining pin and remove my receiver cover and set it aside. Next, remove the recoil spring and the recoil spring guide. Set it aside. Next, remove the bolt and bolt carrier. And set them to the side. Next, I remove the handguard, the gas tube, and the gas piston. Slide the detent up. Manipulate a little bit. Handguard, gas tube, gas piston, and set them aside. To remove the trigger assembly detent needs to be depressed. These can many times be quite stiff, so I just like to give it a little pop with a rubber mallet. And it comes right out. I then remove the body of the fixed magazine body, or the body of the fixed magazine. Then I remove the barrel and the receiver from the stock, or the barrel assembly from the stock. And there you have it. Quite simply, to reassemble, we just reverse the process. Here are the rifle components completely disassembled. Reversing the steps, put the barrel and the receiver inside the wooden stock, making sure that the upper lip of the forward end of the fixed magazine is engaged into the lug underneath the barrel. I reinsert the magazine. Reinserting the trigger assembly, I place it on the back of my workspace or bench, take the flat of my hand and give it a good pop. I took two that time. I can then fully seat my fixed magazine. I reinsert the gas piston inside the gas tube. It'll only go in one way, inside the handguard. Reseat it. And lock it back into place. I then mate the bolt with the bolt carrier Couple them together, insert it in the receiver, and depressing the internal magazine spring, or the magazine spring, push the bolt forward. I then reinsert the recoil spring and the recoil spring guide. I'm using a cloth because my hands are getting greasy and slippery. Seat it. Then I simply take the receiver cover, seat it back in place, take the receiver cover pin, and lock it down in the detent. Afterwards, I do a function check. Place the weapon off safe, charge the weapon, pull the trigger, hold it to the rear, charge the weapon again, have it push down the internal magazine spring, let go of the trigger, you should hear a click, depress the trigger, and it fires. The safety to the SKS is loaded to the rear of the trigger guard, is very ergonomic, and in my humble opinion, it is a much better design than the safety on the AKM series. Just my 2 cents. I also lock the cleaning rod back in place under the barrel. The front sight post is covered by a shroud. The rear sights are tangent and calibrated out to 1,000 meters. This is a little optimistic. That said, I wouldn't want to have a platoon firing at me with their tangent sight set at 700 meters. Realistically, the maximum effective range on this rifle is probably 450 meters. Although these are considered a surplus rifle and obsolete by modern standards, they're still a viable rifle and a fun shooter. I'm not sure what I would pay what they're asking for them today, but back in the day, these were well worth $100. The obviously limiting factor is the 10-round fixed magazine and the inability to take detachable magazines. Yes, I'm aware that there's modifications that are out there where you can replace the magazine with a 30-round fixed magazine, but I don't have any experience with that, and this is how the rifle comes as a surplus rifle. Those are my thoughts. This is one of America's most popular rifles. I'd be interested to see people's comments in the comments section, and that's all for the day. Thanks for watching. This is Old Soldier out.